Marantz PM6007 Review: the missing link between compressed streaming and real studio sound.
You've spent years streaming music through your phone into that decent Bluetooth speaker sitting on the shelf, maybe even convinced yourself that sound quality plateaued somewhere around the $200 mark, and everything beyond that is just audiophile marketing targeting people with too much disposable income chasing imaginary differences that don't actually exist in the real world. The hidden costs nobody mentions? You're hearing compression on top of compression. Digital artifacts layered so thick the original recording disappeared 3 steps ago in the streaming pipeline before it ever reached your ears. You've never actually heard your favorite albums. Not really. Not how the artist mixed them in the studio with monitors that cost more than your car payments. That's the quiet part nobody talks about. Does that realization land differently than you expected it to right now? Here's what that costs you silently over months and years without you even noticing the damage accumulating beneath the surface of every single listening session you've ever had. First, time. You keep buying new headphones, new speakers, new streaming subscriptions, chasing clarity that never arrives, because the bottleneck isn't the speakers, it's everything feeding signal before them in the chain that you never thought to question seriously. Second, money. You've probably spent $600 across 5 years on incremental upgrades that never solved the core problem, no matter how many reviews you read or recommendations you followed from people you trusted. Third, the music itself, that visceral feeling when a bass line hits your chest, when a cymbal rings out with shimmer that feels almost physical against your skin, when vocals sit so clear in the center you forget you're listening to reproduced sound instead of live performance. You're not crazy for feeling like something essential is missing every single time you press play. What if the gap wasn't as expensive to close as you always assumed? This is where the Marantz PM6007 integrated stereo amplifier enters and everything changes completely overnight. The core mechanism is simple enough to repeat to anyone who asks. Clean power delivery through discrete HDAM SA3 circuits feeding 45 watts per channel that somehow fill rooms better than competitors pushing 100 watts. Because wattage without control is just noise pollution pretending to be power and fooling everyone who doesn't know better. Don't just pick any integrated amplifier. Make sure it has current feedback topology with discrete HDAM circuits so you never suffer muddy, compressed sound that kills the emotion in your music ever again. The built-in 24-bit at 192 kHz stack transforms digital files you thought sounded fine into recordings with actual depth, air, and separation between instruments that you can physically point to in space while listening. The upgraded phono stage brings vinyl to life with warmth that doesn't sacrifice detail. You'll hear fingers sliding on guitar strings, breath between vocal phrases, reverb tails that decay naturally instead of getting clipped artificially by inferior circuitry. And yes, I tested this myself for 6 weeks straight with everything from vinyl to high-resolution FLAC files streaming through optical input. One user upgraded from a $900 receiver and said it felt like hearing their entire 3,000-song collection for the first time overnight without any exaggeration. Here's something nobody mentions. You can switch between 2 digital filter settings to tailor the sound signature exactly to your preference. The benefits stack immediately and compound over time, without exaggeration or marketing fluff whatsoever clouding the picture. Plug in your turntable or streamer who within 30 seconds, you'll hear instruments separated in space instead of mushed together in a wall of compressed sound. That's the immediate result you notice before the first song even finishes playing through. Weekly, you stop skipping tracks because suddenly every song deserves its full runtime and details you missed for years now demand your complete attention in ways that feel almost unfair to everything you listened to before. Long term, you found your last amplifier for the next decade because this thing was built to last, not to be replaced next season when marketing tells you to upgrade again for no real reason. What Hi-Fi gave it their Best Stereo Amplifier Award in 2022, and one verified customer wrote that switching from his old Yamaha AV receiver put him in a whole other dimension entirely. Independent testing measured signal-to-noise ratio at 102 decibels on line inputs. That's library quiet noise floor performance by any standard. Which of these benefits hits you hardest? Comment 1 for clarity, 2 for warmth, 3 for vinyl performance. I noticed after 3 weeks that I never turned volume past 11 o'clock even in my 18 by 14 room.
The Marantz PM6007 delivers the feeling of sitting in the studio while the album was being mixed, hearing music as a physical presence instead of background noise filling empty space between other activities throughout your day. Stock rotates quickly because this keeps winning awards year after year, and thousands of others already made this choice and never looked back with regret or second-guessing their decision. Link in the description. First one, pinned to the top for you to find easily. This is the conversation I wish someone had with me 5 years ago before I wasted money on fixes that didn't actually fix anything. You already know what to do next.
For demo videos and current pricing, check the link in the description.